Do you know why most people lose the battle before the day even begins? Because they wake up without purpose. They open their eyes, and instantly surrender their mind to distraction, fear, laziness, and noise. But not you. Not anymore. Because today, you are about to train your mind like the Stoics did. You are about to build a morning discipline so strong that no insult, failure, setback, or difficult day can break you. So listen carefully. And if you truly want to become mentally stronger every single day, subscribe to Stoic Awakening, leave a comment below, and share this video with someone who needs discipline in their life. Now breathe deeply. And let's begin. The Stoics believe that the morning is sacred. Before the world speaks to you, you must speak to yourself. Marcus Aurelius woke up every morning reminding himself that he would meet difficult people, selfish people, negative people, and challenges beyond his control. Yet he never complained. Why? Because he trained his mind before the world tested it. Most people wake up and immediately check their phone. Bad news. Messages. Comparison. Noise. But a disciplined person wakes up differently. They wake up with awareness. A young man once complained to his mentor that his life felt chaotic. Every day felt heavy. He felt unmotivated and mentally exhausted. The mentor asked him one question. What is the first thing you do every morning? The young man answered, I check my phone. The mentor smiled and said, then every morning, you allow the world to control your mind before you control yourself. That sentence changed his life forever. Because discipline begins in the first moments after waking up. The first battle is not outside. It is inside your mind. And the Stoics understood this deeply. When you wake up, your mind is soft like wet cement. Whatever enters first leaves the deepest mark. That is why you must guard your mornings. Protect your energy. Protect your thoughts. Protect your focus. Because if your morning is weak, your day becomes weak. But if your morning is disciplined, your mind becomes powerful. A Stoic morning starts with silence. Not noise. Not panic. Not rushing. Silence. Because silence reveals the truth. Most people are terrified of silence because silence exposes their thoughts. But the disciplined person sits in silence and faces themselves honestly. There was once an old man who woke up before sunrise every single morning. His neighbors thought he was strange. No music. No television. No distractions. Just silence. One day a younger man asked him, why do you sit alone every morning doing nothing? The old man replied, I am not doing nothing. I am preparing my mind before life attacks it. That is wisdom. The world attacks unprepared minds. But silence sharpens awareness. In silence, you remember your purpose. In silence, your emotions calm down. In silence, discipline is born. You do not need a perfect life to become strong. You need a disciplined mind. The Stoics also believed in voluntary discomfort. Doing hard things on purpose. Why? Because comfort weakens the soul. A cold morning. A difficult workout. Waking up early. Avoiding laziness. These small acts train your character. Every morning you have two choices. Remain comfortable, or become stronger. And strength is built through resistance. A young athlete once asked a Stoic teacher, how do I become mentally strong? The teacher took him to a river at sunrise. The water was freezing cold. The student hesitated. But the teacher stepped into the river calmly. Then he said, your mind always wants comfort. Discipline begins when you stop obeying every feeling. The student entered the freezing water. At first, he hated it. But after weeks of doing hard things every morning, his confidence changed completely. Not because life became easier, but because he became stronger. That is the Stoic way. Do not wait for motivation. Discipline is more powerful than motivation. Motivation disappears when emotions change. Discipline remains even when you feel tired. Most people destroy their mornings with excuses. I'm too tired. I'll start tomorrow. Just 5 more minutes. But every excuse steals your future. The Stoics believed that time is your most valuable possession. Once wasted, it never returns. Seneca warned people about this centuries ago. People protect their money. People protect their possessions. But they waste time carelessly every single day. Think about that. Every morning is another chance to become wiser, calmer, stronger, and more disciplined. But many people waste it scrolling endlessly through distractions. Then they wonder why they feel empty. Because distraction destroys purpose. And purpose gives life meaning. A man once spent years complaining about his life. He blamed everyone around him. His family. His boss. His circumstances. But one morning he realized something painful. The problem was not his situation. The problem was his habits. He slept late. Woke up late. Avoided responsibility. Lived without structure. That realization hurt him deeply. But it also freed him. Because once he changed his mornings, he changed his life. Slowly. Quietly. Powerfully. And you can too. Discipline is not punishment. It is self-respect. Read that again. When you wake up early to work on yourself, you are telling yourself, my future matters. When you exercise, you are saying, my body deserves strength. When you control your emotions, you are saying, my peace is valuable. Discipline is an act of self-respect. The Stoics knew this. That is why they focused on controlling what they could control. Not the weather. Not other people. Not luck. Only themselves. And that is where true power lives. Inside self-control. A businessman once lost everything overnight. His company collapsed. His friends disappeared. His reputation was attacked. People expected him to fall apart. But every morning, he still woke up early. Still trained. Still read. Still journaled. Still disciplined. Someone asked him, how are you so calm after losing everything? He answered, because they took my possessions, not my character. That is Stoicism. The world can take many things from you. But never surrender your discipline. Because discipline becomes your inner fortress. Your morning routine shapes your identity. Every repeated action becomes part of who you are. If you repeat laziness daily, you become lazy. If you repeat discipline daily, you become disciplined. Character is built through repetition. Not overnight. Not instantly. Brick by brick. Morning by morning. A sculptor once spent years carving a massive stone statue. People laughed at him because progress was slow. But every single morning he returned to the stone and chipped away patiently. Years later, the statue became a masterpiece admired by everyone. People praised the final result. But they ignored the thousands of disciplined mornings behind it. That is how greatness is built. Quiet consistency. Most people want instant transformation. The Stoics focused on daily improvement. Just one step better each day. One stronger decision. One disciplined morning. One controlled emotion. And over time, those small victories transform your entire life. Your mind must become stronger than your feelings. This is one of the hardest lessons in Stoicism. Because feelings change constantly. Some mornings you will feel inspired. Other mornings you will feel tired, sad, or unmotivated. But discipline means continuing anyway. A farmer once woke up before sunrise every day for decades. Rain or sunshine. Good mood or bad mood. He still worked. Someone asked him how he stayed so consistent. He answered, "The crops do not care about my feelings." Powerful. Your future also does not care about your moods. Results come from consistency, not emotion. That is why disciplined people win in life. They act based on principles, not temporary feelings. And every morning gives you another chance to practice this. The Stoics also practiced gratitude every morning. Not because life was perfect, but because gratitude creates strength. A grateful mind is harder to break. Many people wake up focusing only on problems. But Stoicism teaches you to focus on opportunity. You woke up today. You have another chance. Another sunrise. Another moment to improve. That alone is powerful. A poor man once complained constantly about his life until he met an old philosopher. The philosopher asked him, "Would you sell your eyesight for $1 million? No. Would you sell your legs? No. Would you sell your family? No." The philosopher smiled. "Then you are already richer than you think." The man never forgot those words. Gratitude changes perspective. And perspective changes everything. Every morning, remember this truth. Life is temporary. The Stoics reflected on mortality often. Not to become fearful, but to become focused. When you remember that time is limited, distractions lose power. Petty arguments lose importance. Excuses lose meaning. You stop wasting your days. A warrior once carried a small skull with him wherever he went. People found it strange. But he explained, "It reminds me that one day I will die. So today I must live with purpose." That awareness made him fearless. Because he stopped taking time for granted. You do not need to fear death. You need to fear never truly living. And disciplined mornings help you live intentionally. Your environment matters too. The Stoics understood the influence of surroundings. If you surround yourself with negativity, laziness spreads into your mind. But if you surround yourself with wisdom and discipline, you rise higher. Protect your mornings from toxic energy. Protect your ears from constant negativity. Protect your attention. A young man trying to improve his life kept failing repeatedly. Eventually, he realized something important. Every morning he listened to people complain, gossip, and spread negativity. Slowly, their mindset infected him. So he changed his environment. He spent mornings reading wisdom instead. Listening to uplifting messages. Training his mind. And his entire life changed direction. Because what enters your mind daily eventually shapes your destiny. Discipline also means controlling your reactions. Not every problem deserves your anger. Not every insult deserves your attention. Not every challenge deserves panic. The Stoics mastered emotional control. A king once insulted a Stoic philosopher publicly, hoping to embarrass him. But the philosopher remained calm. The king became frustrated and shouted, "Why are you not angry?" The philosopher replied, "If someone hands you a gift and you refuse to accept it, who keeps the gift?" "The giver," answered the king. "Exactly," said the philosopher. "I refuse your anger." That is power. Real strength is emotional control. And emotional control begins in your daily discipline. Especially in the morning. Most people wait for life to become easier. Stoics prepare themselves to become stronger. That is the difference. Life will always contain difficulty. Stress. Loss. Criticism. Pain. But discipline gives you stability in chaos. A sailor cannot control the storm. But he can control how he sails the ship. Your mind is the same way. You cannot control every situation. But you can control your response. And every disciplined morning trains that response. Listen carefully. Your future is being created right now. Not tomorrow. Not next year. Today. By your habits. By your mindset. By your discipline. One morning at a time. Imagine waking up every day with clarity. No chaos. No laziness controlling you. No weak mindset. Imagine becoming calm under pressure. Focused under stress. Disciplined when others quit. That transformation starts in the morning. And it starts with one decision. To stop living unconsciously. To stop making excuses. To stop surrendering your mind to weakness. A monk once told his student, the first victory of the day is leaving your bed with purpose. Simple. But true. The moment you conquer laziness in the morning, you gain momentum. Small victories matter. Making your bed. Training your body. Reading wisdom. Sitting in silence. Planning your day. These are not small things. They are acts of self-mastery. And self-mastery changes lives. Some mornings will feel heavy. You may feel tired. Discouraged. Lost. But remember this. The sun still rises every day. And so must you. Even when life hurts. Even when nobody believes in you. Even when progress feels invisible. Keep showing up. A bamboo tree spends years growing roots underground before visible growth appears. For years, it looks like nothing is happening. Then suddenly, it grows rapidly toward the sky. People call it sudden success. But they never saw the hidden preparation. Your discipline works the same way. Every early morning. Every hard choice. Every moment of self-control. You are building invisible strength. One day, the results will appear. The Stoics believed peace comes from within. Not from money. Not from status. Not from other people. Inner peace comes from self-control and wisdom. A disciplined morning creates inner peace because you stop living reactively. You stop being controlled by every emotion. Every distraction. Every opinion. You become centered. Stable. Calm. Strong. And in a chaotic world, that is rare. So tomorrow morning, when the alarm rings, do not negotiate with weakness. Get up. Stand tall. Face the day with purpose. Train your mind before the world trains it for you. Remember who you are becoming. A disciplined person. A calm mind. A strong soul. A Stoic. And every morning you choose discipline, you move one step closer to the person you were meant to become. And before you sleep tonight, ask yourself one question. What kind of person will wake up tomorrow? Because every morning, you are reborn through your choices. Not through words. Not through dreams. Through actions. The Stoics understood that greatness is not built in one dramatic moment. It is built in the quiet hours when nobody is watching. When the world sleeps. The disciplined rise. There was once a blacksmith known throughout his village for crafting the strongest swords anyone had ever seen. A young apprentice asked him, "What makes your sword stronger than everyone else's?" The blacksmith replied, "Fire, pressure, and repetition." Then he looked directly at the apprentice and said, "The same is true for human beings. Pain shapes you. Pressure tests you. But repetition transforms you. That is why your mornings matter so much. Every disciplined morning is another strike of the hammer shaping your character." Many people believe confidence comes first. But the Stoics knew the truth. Action creates confidence. Not waiting. Not overthinking. Action. When you wake up early and keep promises to yourself, your self-respect grows. You begin trusting yourself again. That changes everything. A man once struggled with low confidence for years. He constantly doubted himself. One day, he decided to make one simple promise. Wake up before sunrise every day for 30 days. Nothing more. At first, it felt impossible. Some mornings he failed. Some mornings he wanted to quit. But eventually, he changed. Not because waking up early magically solved his problems, but because he proved to himself that he could do difficult things. That is how confidence is built. Through disciplined action. Your mind is like a garden. If you neglect it, weeds grow automatically. Negative thoughts. Fear. Excuses. Anger. Comparison. But discipline removes those weeds daily. The Stoics were gardeners of the mind. Every morning they planted better thoughts intentionally. Wisdom. Patience. Courage. Gratitude. Focus. A gardener once noticed that two identical seeds produced completely different plants. One grew strong and healthy. The other weak and dying. The difference was simple. One was cared for daily. The other was ignored. Your mind works the same way. What you feed daily grows stronger. So feed your mind wisdom every morning. Not chaos. Not negativity. Not endless distraction. There will always be people who misunderstand your discipline. Some will call you obsessed. Some will call you boring. Some will mock your routines. Ignore them. Most people criticize the discipline they lack. A young man stopped partying every night so he could focus on improving his life. His friends laughed at him. They said he had changed. And they were right. He had changed. While others wasted years chasing temporary pleasure, he was building strength, peace, and purpose. Years later, the same people who mocked him began asking him for advice. Remember this. The pain of discipline is temporary. But the pain of regret lasts much longer. Stoicism teaches you not to fear difficulty. Why? Because difficulty reveals your true character. Anybody can stay calm when life is easy. Anybody can smile when everything goes their way. But can you remain disciplined during hardship? That is the real test. A captain once sailed through violent storms while the crew panicked in fear. But the captain remained calm. Later, someone asked him how he stayed so composed. He answered, "The storm reveals whether I trained properly. Hard moments reveal your preparation. And disciplined mornings prepare you for difficult days." You must also learn to protect your energy. Not every conversation deserves your attention. Not every battle deserves your participation. The Stoics were extremely careful with where they placed their focus. Because attention is power. Where your attention goes, your life follows. A lion does not turn around every time a dog barks. Think about that. Weak minds react to everything. Strong minds stay focused. Every morning, choose what deserves your energy carefully. Protect your peace like your life depends on it. Because it does. One of the greatest forms of discipline is patience. Modern society wants everything instantly. Instant success. Instant results. Instant happiness. But nature does not work that way. The Stoics understood the power of slow growth. A stonecutter may hit a rock 100 times before it cracks. But the crack was not caused by the final hit alone. It was caused by every strike before it. Your progress is the same. Do not quit because results are slow. Your disciplined mornings are working even when you cannot see immediate results. Every day matters. Every effort matters. Every choice matters. There is also power in simplicity. The Stoics lived simple lives because they knew endless desires create endless suffering. Most people wake up chasing more. More validation. More attention. More possessions. But peace comes when you learn to control desire. A wealthy merchant once met a Stoic philosopher sitting peacefully under a tree. The merchant laughed and asked, "Why do you sit there with nothing?" The philosopher smiled and replied, "Why do you run around with everything?" The merchant had no answer. Because many people are rich in possessions but poor in peace. Discipline teaches you to value inner wealth over outer appearance. Calmness, wisdom, integrity, self-control. These are treasures nobody can steal. Every morning is also a chance to forgive yourself. The Stoics did not expect perfection. They expected effort. You will fail sometimes. You will oversleep sometimes. You will lose focus sometimes. That is part of being human. But never let one bad morning become a bad life. A warrior once lost a battle and became ashamed. He wanted to give up completely. But his teacher told him, "Falling is not failure. Refusing to rise is failure." That lesson stayed with him forever. So if you failed yesterday, rise again today. If you were weak yesterday, become stronger today. Each sunrise is another opportunity to begin again with wisdom. Imagine how different your life could become after 1 year of disciplined mornings. 1 year of controlling your mind. 1 year of protecting your peace. 1 year of reading wisdom instead of consuming negativity. 1 year of training your body and mind consistently. You would not even recognize the old version of yourself. Because discipline changes identity. Slowly. Quietly. Permanently. Most people spend their lives reacting. The Stoics lived intentionally. That is the difference. Reactive people let emotions control them. Intentional people control their responses. One morning practice can change your entire mindset. Before leaving your bed, ask yourself, what kind of energy will I bring into the world today? Not what the world will give you. What you will bring. Calmness, strength, patience, discipline, wisdom. Choose intentionally. Because your energy affects everyone around you. There is a story about a candle and a storm. A small candle sat in darkness while violent winds shook the room. The candle could have focused on the storm. Instead, it focused on protecting its flame. That small flame survived the entire night. Your mind is the same way. The world will always contain storms. Negativity. Stress. Chaos. But your job is not to control every storm. Your job is to protect your inner flame. And discipline protects that flame. The Stoics also believed that suffering often comes from expectations. People expect life to be fair. Easy. Perfect. But life owes nobody comfort. Once you accept that difficulty is natural, you stop becoming shocked by challenges. You become stronger instead. A boxer trains by getting hit repeatedly. Not because he enjoys pain. But because pain prepares him for real fights. Life trains you the same way. Every challenge can either weaken you or strengthen you. The choice depends on your mindset. And disciplined mornings create resilient minds. Some of the strongest people look calm, not loud. The Stoics understood silent strength. A mountain does not scream to prove its power. It simply stands firm. You do not need to announce your discipline to the world. Let your actions speak. Wake up early quietly. Improve yourself quietly. Grow quietly. And let the results make the noise. There will be days when nobody notices your effort. Nobody applauds your growth. Nobody understands your sacrifices. Keep going anyway. A seed grows underground in silence before anyone sees the tree. The most important growth often happens invisibly. Do not become addicted to validation. Become addicted to improvement. Because external praise comes and goes. But inner strength stays with you forever. Listen carefully. You are capable of far more than you realize. Most people never discover their true strength because they quit too early. They surrender to comfort. They surrender to fear. They surrender to excuses. But not you. Not anymore. Every disciplined morning awakens another level inside you. A stronger mind. A calmer spirit. A more focused soul. That version of you already exists. Your habits simply need to reveal it. One day, you will look back at these difficult mornings with gratitude. Because they built you. The pain taught you discipline. The silence taught you awareness. The struggle taught you resilience. And the routine taught you mastery. Nothing was wasted. Every challenge shaped you into someone stronger. So tomorrow morning, wake up with purpose. Drink water slowly and consciously. Sit in silence for a moment. Breathe deeply. Remember your mission. Train your body. Feed your mind wisdom. Protect your peace. And walk into the day like someone who refuses to be controlled by weakness. Because that is what Stoicism truly is. Not emotionless living. But disciplined living. Wise living. Purposeful living. If you are still listening, this message was meant for you. Comment below. Discipline will change my life. Subscribe to Stoic Awakening for more daily Stoic wisdom and powerful mindset videos. And share this with someone who needs mental strength today. Remember, your future is created by what you do repeatedly. Master your mornings. And you will eventually master your life.